Welcome to the Grimdark Chronicles. Something of mystery, an information repository, and a place of history and bygone times. With the archival world of Calliope lost to heretical treachery, now only a few data repositories remain. Origins and creation. Orcs trace their origins back over 60 million years to the mysterious Old Ones, an ancient, highly advanced race responsible for engineering various life forms to serve as tools or warriors during their cosmic struggles. Among these creations were the Krurk, the precursors to modern orcs. The Krurk were genetically designed to be resilient, aggressive, and exceptionally effective in warfare, intended to combat the Necrons and their god-like C'tan masters during the apocalyptic war in heaven. Unlike modern orcs, the Krurk were not the chaotic brutes seen today, but disciplined and technologically sophisticated warriors. Historical records within the setting hint that they stood over 12 meters tall, wielded advanced energy weapons, and demonstrated superior strategic capabilities. However, as the Old Ones fell, the Krurk evolved, losing their creator's guidance and much of their advanced intellect. Over countless millennia, they became the Orcs, retaining their insatiable thirst for conflict and remarkable survivability, but abandoning their once mighty legacy. This transition underscores the Orcs' adaptability. Even stripped of their original purpose, they have thrived as a race devoted to war, physiology, and reproduction. Orcs are a unique amalgamation of animal and fungal biology, a characteristic that underpins much of their extraordinary resilience and capacity to proliferate. Their green skin, a hallmark feature, contains chlorophyll, like cells that allow them to draw energy from sunlight. This not only sustains them, but also enables them to endure harsh environments where other species would falter. A distinctive feature of orc biology is their spore-based reproductive system. After an orc dies, or even simply by existing, they release spores into the surrounding environment. These spores settle and grow into new orcoid life forms, including not just orcs but Gretchen, a smaller goblin-like creatures, snotlings, tiny, mischievous helpers, and squigs, bestial organisms that serve various practical and gastronomic purposes. This system ensures that orcs can quickly dominate any planet they touch, as even a single orc can seed an ecosystem capable of spawning an entire warband. For example, the planet Ullanor transformed into a thriving orc stronghold due to the unchecked spread of spores after an initial infestation. Orcs also exhibit regenerative properties. They can recover from severe wounds, regrow limbs, and survive injuries that would be fatal to other species. This trait is exploited by their pain boys, who perform crude yet surprisingly effective surgeries, such as attaching severed limbs or augmenting orcs with mechanical parts. Society and culture. Orc society is governed by the principle of might makes right. The strongest orc in any group becomes the leader, or warboss, wielding absolute authority. Leadership, however, is not a permanent position. Any ambitious orc can challenge a warboss for supremacy, and such disputes are typically resolved in brutal physical combat. This ensures that only the toughest and most cunning orcs rise to the top, perpetuating their culture's survival of the fittest ethos. Orcs organize themselves into clans, each with distinct traits and ideologies. For example, Goths are renowned for their love of brutal, hand-to-hand combat. Their armies emphasize physical strength and close, quarter warfare, often led by hulking knobs and warbosses armed with crude but devastating melee weapons. Evil sons are obsessed with speed, adorning their vehicles with bright red paint, believed to make them go faster, and fielding hordes of bikes and buggies in battle. Bad moons possess the most wealth, thanks to their naturally faster, growing teeth used as currency, and flaunt their status with elaborate war gear and extravagant war machines. Death Skulls are notorious looters, scavenging battlefield debris to construct new weapons and vehicles. These clans frequently unite under a WAV, a massive warband led by a charismatic warboss. A famous example is the WAV, led by Gazkul Maguruk Thraka, who launched devastating campaigns against the Imperium, including the legendary Third War for Armageddon. Technology and warfare. Orc technology is a fascinating mix of crudity and genius. While their machines and weapons appear ramshackle, they function remarkably well, primarily due to the Orcs' collective psychic field known as the WAV. This field allows Orcs' beliefs to influence reality. For instance, Orcs paint their vehicles red because they believe red ones go faster. And through the WAV, this becomes a fact. This psychic phenomenon extends to their weaponry. Shooters and Orc guns, for example, often consist of scrap metal and random components, yet they fire reliably, provided the Orc wielding them believes they will. Mechboys Orc engineers construct enormous war machines like Gargants, crude but deadly Orc titans, and Stumpus using little more than junk and sheer enthusiasm. In combat, Orcs favor overwhelming numbers and relentless aggression. Their strategies are often simplistic but brutally effective, relying on swarming their enemies with hordes of boys or crushing them with war engines like battle wagons and deft dreads. Famous battles, such as the War for Armageddon, showcase Orcs' unparalleled ability to mobilize and sustain large-scale campaigns. During these wars, Orcs deployed millions of troops, countless war machines, and their iconic Gargants, bringing entire planetary systems to their knees. Religion and beliefs. Orc spirituality revolves around two deities, Gork and Mork, who embody the dual aspects of Orc nature. Gork is brutally cunning, representing raw, unsubtle aggression, while Mork is cunningly brutal, symbolizing strategic savagery. Orcs invoke these gods before battles, believing that their victories are blessings from their divine patrons. For example, an Orc horde's success in breaching an Imperial fortress might be attributed to Gork's strength or Mork's trickery. The WAV is both a war cry and a spiritual manifestation of the Orc race's collective energy. It fuels their psychic powers, drives them to greater feats of violence, and binds their society in a shared purpose at war. This phenomenon allows Orcs to achieve feats that defy explanation, such as launching spacefaring fleets cobbled together from debris or surviving catastrophic injuries. Impact on the galaxy. The Orcs are one of the most persistent and dangerous threats in the galaxy. Their invasions have shaped galactic history, with examples like the Battle of Armageddon illustrating their sheer destructive potential. During this conflict, Gazkul Maguruk Thraka led an invasion force that plunged the planet into a decades-long war, requiring the deployment of countless Imperial Guard regiments, Space Marine chapters, and even Titan legions to halt the Orc advance. Despite their disorganized nature, Orcs' sheer numbers and unpredictability make them a constant menace. Their ability to infest new planets, build war machines from scrap, and organize WAVs means no corner of the galaxy is safe from their reach. For instance, the Octarius Warsaw Orcs clashing with the Tyranids, creating a galactic-scale conflict that threatened to spill into neighboring sectors. Potentially overwhelming Imperial defenses